Hello, good morning, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Mark Freer, and I'm going to give a small demo on the customer support agent for Omni Retail. My student number is 201 20 27 3. This is for the second assignment, the multi-agent support walkthrough and workflow. Okay, so just in the repo by itself, if you have a look, we have a make file. So if you do make or make the shell, you'll see that there's make is installed and configured, and if I cat the make file, 26, there we go. So you'll see the make commands that we have. The initial one is make setup, so that creates the Python environment and everything from the first flow. And then there's make install, which installs onto the libraries, the Python libraries and all that kind of thing. And then we can run the agent, and we can run a full UI, terminal UI. We can also run a chainlit web app, which we can interact with and use the multi-agent workflow. And then for observability, we can bring up Prometheus and Grafana stack, basically with make OPS up essentially, and you can log as well. So for the sake of this demo, I'm just going to bring up the agent because I already have the stack up and running. Because I'm recording video, it's heavy on my system, so I had to get the stack up and running first. Okay, so on the app, so you see we have an initial loading screen as well, which we don't really need. It's just something I put in available. So you take a quick look at the UI, you can see that we have a metrics endpoint available. So if I go out to that metrics endpoint, you'll see here all the exposed metrics, and this is a metrics.py server exposing these, and you'll see we have the Omni response perplexity bucket, for example, which is a metric that records the perplexity of any queries made, essentially. There's other metrics as well. That's just one of the most important ones I want to highlight. We have the root decision as well, and we have a few others here. They're documented in the presentation and also in the repository as well. So I'll the initial query would be what's the return policy, for example, and you'll see we have a triage agent that goes to the info agent, and then they work out whether it needs to go to the knowledge base or they have the answer close at hand, essentially, right? So it gives this response. The standard return policy, you have 30 days for your delivery date to be returned. If we give a multi query, like what's my order, what's the status of my order, same thing, it goes to triage and they work out the agent endpoint, the stage, which node is going to pull that info. So you can see it, we've a mock API with a function that calls check underscore order status, and this is where it's pulling it from, the mock API, essentially, right? And then we'll give it the multi-query, right? So any query with I want a refund or an escalation, that's recorded as a metric as well as part of the observability. It's also from the first part, which I never got to upload. So it's doing some subquerying here. You can see it's checking the other orders. And there we have it. It's found the right order, and it's saying 5 business days back to your original payment method for that refund, essentially, right? And here's the one. I ordered 2 items last week. One was damaged, one was late. That's the main multi-query that we're going to, as in we have more than one ask in the query. And here it goes straight to info agent here. And it says, thank you for contacting. I'm sorry to hear you have an issue with both items in your order. For your damaged items, we'll make it right. You can email returns and get your refund in 14 days. And then it's apologising for the second piece, and they don't have a policy for that, but you can provide your order number and they'll be able to fix it, right? So if we go same here for the Streamlit app UI, having all this open is heavy enough on my system, so bear with me. Take a quick peek. Can you see we're getting routing metrics here? We're getting some latency, right? Because we're running queries on both the Streamlit or the Chainlit app and the command line and utility. So the command line utility is really geared around people testing and functioning these agents, like DevOps, SRE, AI DevOps persona. And then the Chainlit app is geared towards someone using it, right? And so in my architecture, we're kind of covering both ends of the spectrum. Right? Yeah, so 2.25 is good score for complexity. It's low. You don't want it over 4. Then you're having problems in your system. Right, and it's come back with the same answer as well, right? So we have that now. All the queries in the repo are in the evaluations folder, and these are separated by assignment 1 and assignment 2 essentially, right? So I'll just run another query. It takes a while. I'll try on this side. Maybe do a little prompt injection. Let's have a look what the metrics look like. Yeah, we narrowed it down. Yeah, I've narrowed it down to 1 minute. As I said, this is heavy on my system, so it takes a while. Okay, so we got like good. So it hasn't failed, and it says I appreciate you reaching out, but I'm here specifically to support customer support agent for Omni Retail, and designed to help you with your questions and not give you any information, essentially internal, right? So prompt injection is protected, right? So if we look at the Langsmith dashboard, so for monitoring I've configured Langsmith as well, and I have some extra setups here, like I have an evaluator for prompt injection configured, so we can kind of put that kind of covers part of the guardrails, but I mainly focused on the observability piece because that's kind of my realm. Yeah, I'm just waiting for this to refresh. So if we look at the help menu, you can see that you can actually go to the first assignment as well. So if I do put /A1, for example, it brings me there, and if I do /help, it shows me all the features that I have available in the A1 menu. And one of the issues I've had is, for semantics, I didn't include reciprocal re-ranking. John made a comment on that, but I did. I just forgot to commit it in my uploaded thing to the folder to Moodle. But I fixed that now, and I fixed a few other pieces based on John's comments, essentially. Right, so here you can see, here's the trace counts, and we have some trace latency because of my system, and you can see the LMM count here as well, the P90 and P50. If you go down further, right, you can kind of look, the run types are in depth, kind of up to 5 for the agent and the 2. I'm trying to find, because I'm not familiar with the UI too well, I only did this last night, all the queries, and it's quite slow. Yeah, and we also have a Prometheus dashboard here where we can run the individual queries as well, right? So you can see what Prometheus is actually getting. The real reason I designed it this way is that we can test metrics and alerts locally, and then eventually when you deploy to staging or integration, you'd have them available to you. And then also, if you don't have, for example, PII detection, Langsmith supports these out-of-the-box evaluators that you can create for PII, perplexity, prompt injection, all these kind of things, right? So you can pick, right, to toxicity, right, if you're using LMM as a judge, for example, bias and fairness. So this is something that would be quite difficult to implement locally. You can do it, but it's quite difficult. So you can essentially use something like Langsmith to cover the basis of observability that you're missing, essentially, and then use that to build up what you want to do in production. Yeah, so that's my demo. Thank you very much.